Okay, the little red thing's on now. Hello, internet. I'm KrissieDeathy, and today I just got home. Super tired, really. And I just kind of wanted to make a quick vlog, mainly because I've had a lot of things running through my head personally, and I figured I might as well try to share them vocally with all of you, because I honestly have not recorded anything for this channel, and I have work until close tomorrow, and then I've got school the next day, and then school and work until close. I have some things in my rendered feet. Oh, my lips are getting chapped. Sucks when that happens. Every time the season changes, my lips get chapped, and it sucks. Because if they get too chapped, I'll break out into a cold sore, which will also happen from stress, which happens to be just life. Thank God for CarMax. Yeah. I hate having chapped lips. But yeah, yay for CarMax, that's so helpful. And amazingly, I still have that from earlier this year when I bought it in like January, and it's October and I still have it, amazingly. I normally lose it by now. Today, it's the 10th, it's Monday. I worked until close yesterday. Close wasn't that long, because I actually don't remember if I told you guys. I think I did, but I don't remember if that video has been rendered, if it's been made yet or not. But I have a job now. Woo! Congrats to me. I work at the Macaroon Queen in 2 of its locations, one in Perimeter and one in Lenox. I work at either or, depending on where they want to ship me to. And so, yeah, I work there. I sell macaroons, which is basically a little French pastry. Maybe I'll find a picture if I decide to actually do any special editing with this, which probably won't happen. But yeah, I have a job. I work there. It's nice. I love that. I like working. It's fun. Today, though, I had a bit of trouble. Actually, with my lovely little Windows phone, I had to go to the bank to cash my check, and because I didn't have any time to do it this weekend, I went to do it while I was at school, because I know I had seen one at McDonald's that was by the mall, and I had my phone find one, but the McDonald's, like the Bank of America it sent me to wasn't a Bank of America. It sent me in the opposite direction of the mall, which was confusing. But I'm just like, maybe there's one slightly closer I didn't know about. But it sent me past the mall, it sent me past a Petco and a TJ's Maxx, and I had to turn and walk down a really long road, and it sent me to a Wells Fargo. I have Bank of America. It sent me to Wells Fargo. My GPS is weird. And I remember, because I sat down, because there's these beautiful like fountains right there with some fish in the water, so I just sat down near it and just watched the water for a while as I tried to calm down and breathe, because I called my boyfriend. I'm just like, is this where the Bank of America is supposed to be? Because I started having doubts of my GPS, because my GPS is weird. But apparently what it is Google Maps hasn't updated it. Google Maps says it used to be a Bank of America mortgage center, and it's now Wells Fargo. I needed just the Bank of America bank, but my GPS couldn't find the one closest to me, which is actually closer to the station than where it sent me to. It does that often. Like, I'll look for a Waffle House and it'll send me to a Waffle House 5 miles away when there's one within 2 miles. It's weird. It was so weird, and I think it's just a Windows Phone thing. So yeah, I wasted 2 hours trying to find a Bank of America, well, walking around to get to a Bank of America so I could deposit my check into the bank so I could have money, because I have to go to the Planned Parenthood to pick up my birth control so I don't have horrible cramps on Friday or Saturday. I don't have work either those days, but I need to go this weekend to refill it. Well, to pick up more of it. And so, like, my boyfriend was very kind and sweet, and he guided me there. He was just like, okay, what road are you on? You need to go down this, because he was looking up GPS directions on his phone where he was at home to guide me to where I needed to be. And then I got on the train, went down a stop, and then got off and went to a Wendy's to get lunch. And I got a baked potato with it because I'm starving and I want potatoes. I love potatoes. And the whole time my boyfriend's just like, what can I do to make you feel better? So I had him sing, or attempt to sing, derpy songs from cartoons. One Sailor Moon and the rest I think were Sonic songs. He is a little angel. And so that made me feel better. And then I went to class, because I have 2 classes. I had one class at 9 in the morning, which I have to travel 2 hours to get to school. So 9 a.m. class, I have to be on the bus at 7:10 in order to hope to make it on time for 9 a.m. I got lucky. I got on a 7 o'clock bus, which left slightly early. Like, it left at like 7:05 or something. I don't quite remember. And then I got to the school at 8:50. I got there at 8:40 something. Well, that's when I remember getting off the train. Then I still had to walk to the school. But yeah. And so 2-hour travel time just to get to college, which is a lot, but I decided it was worth it for my education. But I'm actually dealing with like a lot of doubts now, because I'm in a class called team production, and the teacher's just like, what do you want to do, like, when you graduate and get a job in this field? And I'm sitting there, like, he's using terms I've never heard. Cut animation, which when I hear cut animation makes me think of South Park, with how it was made originally with the construction paper. But apparently that's his term for limited animation, which is what I've heard over and over and over again from teachers, from books. So I'm just like, are you confused? Are all the books I read confused before I came here? So there's that. And so it's like a lot of pressure, because, like, to be honest, I don't think I want to try finding a job in the animation field. Because I enjoy making typographies, but apparently that's not what I can make for my portfolio, because I'm not a motion graphics major or a video effects major or something. And so he's asking me if I use Toon Boom or Flash, which I don't. And in all the classes that I had for traditional animation, it was Toon Boom or paper. None of us used Flash. We didn't learn to use Flash, which I thought would be a program I would learn to use when I came to college and high school, and none of my classes have taught me Flash at all. So only things I know about Flash are from watching YouTube videos. So the main one I use is Draw with Jazza. His tutorials are very nice, and they're simple and they're easy to understand. But I have only done like a few tests in Flash, which is mainly a blinking eye, and I haven't continued really on with Flash. I probably should, but I haven't. But with Toon Boom, which is what they mainly always use, you can't get it on a laptop to use at home. So what I would do, so I could just take my work with me, is I drew everything on paper. So I have everything on paper or in Photoshop, all the individual frames. And what I would do is I would just import them in the Toon Boom. That's all I know how to do in Toon Boom. Because, like, going over line art in Toon Boom is extremely difficult. It curves my lines more than I want it to, and it's because of the stabilizer tool. And you can't turn it off in Toon Boom. It's always curving your lines. It's always making vectors, and vectors don't work well with me because the way I draw is I draw straight and then I'll add a curve, and it's all one continuous line. With programs like Illustrator or Toon Boom, I'll do that the way I've always done it traditionally, and it will curve the straight part too much, and then it'll also go extreme curving on like curves that don't need to be that curved, and I can't deal with that, really. It bugs me, and I don't know how to turn off their little stabilizers, and apparently my teachers didn't, because when I asked, they couldn't tell me. So, it's a headache. So it's just like, I'm doing things very different from what he does them and how the industry does them. And so I'm making a limited animation called the 12 Cats of Christmas. It's a holiday one, which hopefully I'll have the first 5 days for you guys to see, because this quarter actually finishes in December, so I'll hopefully have it December 17th, around Diamond's birthday, for you guys to see. I don't know about the rest of it, but you have to write down like things you're using as like professional references, and I wrote down Flintstones because that's the first thing of limited animation I can think of, because I was told you can't use anything for Japan, which to me Japan's like the queens of limited animation, and making that stuff be awesome. So I wrote down Flintstones. It was the only one I can remember, Flintstones, Scooby-Doo, and he told me I needed to use something more contemporary. But I'm just like, contemporary art, when I had it, covered the 60s through the 70s. So I'm just like, what specifically do you mean by contemporary? Like, what time range? And he never really answered at all. And so it's kind of annoying. And then he wants, because like my storyboards, the way I do them are in Photoshop. I draw them by hand in a sketchbook, or I take a line. I normally take printer paper and I take my ruler and I divide them into frames like I used to do in high school when I was making animations. That's how I do my storyboards, or I take them into Photoshop and open a 16:9 file and just do quick sketches of each single frame of each like shot that I need in one Photoshop file. But apparently that's not what he wants. He wants them all on index cards, which I never own. The only reason I have a pack here right now is because someone gave me a pack of index cards. I think my boyfriend had a pack of index cards he wasn't using, and he handed them to me because I needed them for a storyboard class, or somebody in when I had Mr. Chihuahua, we'll refer to him as that, gave me half of theirs or something, or I needed them for his class. I'm not completely sure. Either way, I have a pack here on the table over there. But I'm just like, why do they have to be on index cards? I always lose index cards. Every single time. It's a pack of cards. I'm on the bus for 2 hours, which is normally where I do most of my traditional work. I do all my traditional drawing and sketches, which is what storyboards are. They're just sketches, on the bus and on the train, because I have things to do. Like, I have 2 3D projects. I'm behind on both of them. I should have one in ZBrush, and I should be already animating a 3D animation project, and I haven't started yet. I need to. I'll probably start that after this. And then I also have other projects, so I'm just like, I do traditional artwork, so that's why it's easy to have normal printer size paper, because you have that, you see it. It's not something you're gonna forget, because you see it and it fits in its place properly. But with note cards, the problem I have with them is I always lose several of them, and then there's the problem of they get damaged really easy in my possession. Like, they'll just fold weirdly and they'll be damaged, and you can't use those in classes, especially when you have nitpicky teachers. And then there's also just like, I always lose them, I never have them, and he's talking about taking paper and cutting it up to make cards, and I'm just like, that's not what I'm wanting to do. I'll make the grid on a piece of paper, but I don't want to cut it up because then I'll lose it. Because once it's smaller, I have trouble keeping track of it, and especially like if it's like little clips of paper, they'll be gone super quickly because they'll get shuffled around in the books I keep paper in. Like my sorter is actually completely full. I haven't gone through, I haven't emptied it. I don't feel like emptying it, to be honest, because I think the last time I emptied it was in January at the beginning of that quarter, which was winter quarter 2016 this year. And then Carmen died that same quarter, and I added stuff into that binder, but I never took anything out, and I don't feel like I want to go through this binder and go throw away, keep, and all that. I don't feel like doing that right now. I don't have that kind of energy, or really much, and it's part of it's laziness, and part of it is just like I don't want to go through it right now. I'm not ready. I don't feel like it. I will do it probably later. That was a dog. Probably got its foot cut in the door. I don't know. My relatives have dogs, lots of them. But then again, he's also asking me, because like I was finally, this teacher's like okay with me using a Japanese reference, which thank God, because Chihuahua, Mr. Chihuahua, we'll refer to him as that, told me, and pretty much everyone, that all anime is garbage, yada yada. You can't use it. If your style has anything Japanese-esque, it needs to not have it. It needs to change. And I heard it from several of my upper classmates too. That was their thing. It's like, you're gonna have to change your style because it's Japanese-esque. It looks too much like anime. And I've tried. It still does. But I've tried. It's just like a battle to like please these people. And I've had one teacher, like his main problem with me was my consistency. None of my work looked consistent because I was trying to make a new style that would please them, that would allow me to pass this school. And the weird thing was, the style that teacher seemed to like was my chibi style, where the characters are small and short, which I don't completely understand why, considering most of the time I tend to draw taller characters anyway. But he seemed to like that one. But he also told me to simplify it, and when I hear simplify, when people have told me to simplify it, they normally just curve things, so I curved everything out, and he was just like, no. And I'm just like, I'm trying, but I don't completely understand. But with this new teacher, he's just like, where do you want to go? Like when I brought him, like, because you have to have a professional reference, so I brought him Rene after he told me I couldn't have the Flintstones, and he didn't know what the two other things were. And so he was just like, do you want to go to Japan or North Korea? He said North Korea. Who goes to North Korea? I think he meant South Korea, but I heard him say North Korea, which I don't completely understand, and it just confused me because I'm just like, why are we talking about this now? I just want to pass. I just want to graduate at this point, which I don't think he understands, because he's like, do you want to go to Japan? Do you want to work in Japan? I'm just like, I don't have a passport. I don't know Japanese. If I wanted to go to Japan, I would have learned Japanese. But like, I've had more time to think about it. He's trying to figure out like where I want to go work, and we haven't, to be honest, there's no class that tells you Animation Business 101, which there probably should be, that explains like the industry or anything, because like they said they were gonna bring people in to talk to us about like the actual animation industry, but all the people who came to like the Decatur campus were all video games, and I don't recall ever hearing or being told about anyone coming to our campus to give a lecture about the animation industry. Not one. We had a lot of like days where video gamers would be coming, like gaming companies would come, or hey, the gamers are meeting here, and I think it's probably because our head is a 3D guy, so he knows a lot of the people in the gaming industry. So it's just like, I know Turner's here, they keep saying Turner's here, and they say other things, but they don't tell us like really about the industry. We're just learning some of the craft. We're learning the craft, but when you want to bring us into like these portfolio production classes, there should be like a little mini class before then that says, like, teaches you about like the actual industry, because I keep hearing about the industry. They say the industry, you need to have the standard for the industry, but they don't explain what the industry is. And then I'm also looking around, I'm just like, I'm seeing all these people who are successful and famous and are really well known for their animation, for their work, the things that I like to watch. None of them went to college. Many of them just started doing what I was doing when they were 14 and just making things. They were just making things in their spare time while going to high school, and then they just continued as a hobby while working. And so I'm just like, it might also be because I didn't have cable for a few years, so I don't watch it. Everything I've watched is online. So I don't know a lot of the newer cartoons. I know Steven and Adventure Time, and that's about the only two recent cartoons I really watch. I did recently watch Gravity Falls, I'll talk about that later. But that's basically it. I don't watch a lot of newer cartoons. So it's like, I don't know the industry. I don't know that many like newer cartoons that I watch or that I enjoy, and I definitely don't know many newer ones that are limited animation, because Adventure Time and Steven are all pose to pose, it looks like. It doesn't look like any limited animation is in there. And so it's just like, you're asking me all these questions, and he asked them so fast and in such rapid succession, I can't remember them all, and I can't think of answers, and because of it, I feel confused and flustered, and like, when that happens, my throat right here, it'll feel like it's contracting and closing. So it's like, I can't breathe now, and you're still asking questions, and I still don't know the answers to half of them, and my brain is just sitting there thinking, what do I have to tell you to make you happy, to like please you, so I can just like go and do the thing I want? Because right now my plans, like, because he told me like last week I needed to do soul searching, which I've never done. I don't completely understand it, so joy. So I was just like, I'll make a list. And so I made a list of things that I wanted, and the first one was to graduate college. I'm the first to go, and I don't want to be a dropout. I want to actually graduate. I've come this far. I'm already going to be in so much debt when I leave. I might as well get the thing that says, hey, I graduated. I suffered for 4 years. Even if like I don't use it, which I probably, thinking about it, probably won't. The second one is a job that can support me, that I can live off of. And the third was having my own place. I don't want to be homeless again. I want to have my own place, my own space, where I can make my own rules and live on my own and buy my own groceries and not have to deal with negative people or negative attitudes and all that. I just want my own place. The fourth was I want a canopy bed, because we call her mother. She was my great-mother, or my grandmother. She was my great-grandmother, because she's not my grandmother, I believe she's my great-grandmother. She had a step stool. She had a canopy bed that you need a step stool to get into. And I want that. That sounds luxurious and beautiful, and I want that. I want to have a canopy bed I need to still get into, and I would love that. The 5th was to continue writing books. I love writing. I'm still writing books. I'm going to be writing a whole bunch in November for National Novel Writing Month, and I'll have videos of just me writing for that. 6 was to have a black cat. I've always wanted a pure black cat. Me and my boyfriend have talked, and if we both live together, a black and white one will be fine. And so yeah, I'll be the one mainly taking care of it anyway. The 7th one, I'm trying to remember what it was. The 7th one was to continue making videos for YouTube. That's what it was, because I enjoy this. I enjoy what I do on the Button Mashing Bitches channel. I enjoy playing video games. I enjoy making little derpy shorts. In fact, I intend to, once I graduate college, hopefully, if I'm still working at the Macaron Queen, either get more hours with them so I can live, or to get a second job. And I will also begin making a small mini YouTube series with a friend, which is based off of the pilot I posted a few days ago. I'm hoping to begin that web series because I do have the dialogue and script for episode 1 done. Dialogue's been recorded. The dialogue for Benji the Butterfly has to be altered because Benji is supposed to be a man, not a woman, but I'm stuck doing Benji right now. So yeah, I will be making that into a web series. I have the storyboards for the first episode done, I just haven't gone through and animated them. But yeah, that'll be done once I graduate. I also want to make those Sonic shorts I wrote for Sonic's birthday. I want to make those, so that'll be a thing I'll definitely be doing once I graduate. 8 was just to make art. It was originally I wrote make pop art, but I decided just to make art. That way I'm just like, I don't have to follow too many guidelines. It's all me. I don't have to like try to like make art and things to like please a whole bunch of teachers and things that are just telling me my stuff is garbage. Especially like because like I started doing animation because of my love for anime. So to like be told that the thing you like is garbage, it's hurtful. And it's like feeling like because you enjoy this one thing that you're a horrible person because this thing has inspired you so much that you are garbage because of it. And I don't like that. I don't like that feeling, and I don't need that, and I don't want to have to try to live up to expectations placed on me by people. So yeah, 8 was make art. 9 was to learn how to cook and bake. I like baking, and I want to learn how to bake more recipes and things. That way, like, something about cooking for my loved ones, like my family, I really enjoy it, and I want to be able to like teach my nieces to cook, how to bake cookies and things, and I want to bake, and I want to learn and get better at it. And 10, because I made a 10-point list. 10 is an item from my bucket list, because my bucket list is really small. My bucket list at the beginning of this year consisted of to see a rainbow in the sky, because I had never seen one at the beginning of this year. I have seen one now, so that is no longer on the bucket list, but it was number 1. 2, which is the one that's listed on number 10 in this, is I want to see a bus with a toilet on it. I've never seen one. My sister told me about one. She was on one when she went to some trip for high school, probably a senior trip or something. They were on a bus with a toilet on it going somewhere, and to me that sounds amazing and awesome, and I want to know what that's like. I want to know what it looks like, because I've never seen it, and it sounds like some magical thing. So that's what's number 10 on that list, and it's number 2 on my bucket list. Number 3 is to have a rocking chair, and that's mainly my bucket list. There's like nothing else on there, and it's probably because I'm rather simple and I might add some things onto my bucket list later. But yeah, that's it. And so I did that for soul searching, and I've sent him that list with more detailed explanations for things, and I typed it up on my train ride home, and I sent it to him because it took the whole train ride from when I got to the train station, transferring to one station to another one, and then got to the end of this other line, and right as I got on the bus, I sent it because I finally had the email finished. So hopefully that's what the soul searching he wanted me to do. I'm not completely sure, and if he responds to me or not, I don't know. I don't know how often this teacher checks his email or what, but he was giving me a hard time about leaving early today, and I'm just like, you told me you want this stuff on cards. My cards aren't here, and I don't have a ruler, and I don't have any printer paper here. All I have is a notebook. I have printer paper at home because I don't draw at school because I have 3D classes. I don't really draw. I have paper to write on because if I go to work during the slow period, I can write and just like make a list of things that like need to happen when I get home, or stories that I want to write. I have plot lists for 1, 2, there's Emmys, which goes all the way up to 6, and I'm at the beginning of 3, so 3, 4, 5, 6, 4 for Emmy, 2 the Discovering series, Amelia, and then I have part of the cat series. There's a book about a cat I want to write, and it's not Kiss Mickey, it's a different one. So I have about 8 plots going on in my head. The cat one isn't complete, so I probably shouldn't count it. And then I have Rosabella. I have the LGBT book I began writing. So I have these. The second one for The Witch and Kelpie, I did start writing. I haven't written the plot graph for it, so I'm not sure where that book's gonna go, but it's probably gonna be, and the next one you'll see is probably just a short story of their first date. Will be book 2 of The Witch and Kelpie. Rosabella and Jeannie is, their plot graph is done. And the title of the book is Amber Tears. Right now, I just haven't made all the rules up for the Banshees, because this book deals with Banshees, because I don't want to do the cliche vampire or werewolf thing with immortals. So yeah, the fun part about Amber's Tears, which I'm enjoying, or I will enjoy writing, is it does take place in the county where I grew up. So a lot of the details will be taken from there. Some things are changed for the book. They're not strictly like what it is here. So yeah. And I have a text message or something. But yeah, this video is long at 33 minutes. Woo. I'm having trouble reading that. So I think I'll leave it at this. I'll try to do more vlogs of just like me talking. And so yeah, because like really I'm not sure if I like want to try to join this animation industry, because like I don't know that much about it, and I feel pretty content and happy probably keeping animation as a hobby, because it doesn't seem like I'm going to be able to enter their industry, especially since I have so much trouble changing my style to like try to do what they want or get their approval, and then I also have trouble emulating styles, so unless I have like a billion references of a style, I won't be able to emulate it at all. So there's that problem too. But yeah, I'm gonna go. I wanna lay down. I just wanna lay down and sleep, so I'm gonna do that. Thank you all so much for watching. Bye bye. Find the button, I'm blind.